Let me go ahead and welcome our guest for today. I'm very excited to welcome Melissa Mackey. Melissa is the CEO of Travel Chicks. That's an Edmonton, Canada-based travel agency and training institute. She founded Travel Chicks in 2010 and built it to become one of the most profitable stores in all of Canada. She created a team of advisors and professionals specializing in all kinds of travel, but particularly in group trips and design services. Melissa's here to talk about smartphone apps that can help make running your agency a little easier. Some of them focus on marketing, some on social media, but all of them are designed to help save you time and help make your agency stand out. So when demand for travel does fully return, you'll be really prepared and you'll be ready to take advantage of it. So I want to thank you so much for joining me here, Melissa. And welcome to our series.
Thank you so much for having me. I tell you, it's like crazy to try and keep up with all the chats. It's just like, whoa.
I know. The chats have really helped us inform the conversation and guide the conversation to what they have. But when the chats get jumping, it is difficult to keep up. But it is a great resource. So I guess before we kick off, we jump into the apps. I want to ask you if you want to tell me a little bit about your career in travel. I know you did some corporate stuff, but how did you end up in the industry? And then how did you end up as an agency owner?
So I actually started as a travel consultant with an organization called Flight Center back in 2006, 2005, 2006. And I climbed the corporate ladder there at Flight Center rather quickly. And I was running the sixth most profitable store in all of Canada. And then I wanted a new experience. So I went to a brand new location, started building that up. And in 2010, I was like, okay, I am working so many hours. I have learned how to train staff, hire staff, fire staff, and I've learned how to run a business, with the accounts receivable, accounts payable. And I was like, why am I doing this for somebody else? Why don't I do this for myself? And so June of 2010, I quit Flight Center, which was crazy because really I was making a lot of money. But I was also putting in a lot of time as well. And so I took the summer off, and then I actually started diving into personal development work. And I was like, okay, I can't leave the travel industry. Like, I just can't, never, ever will I leave the travel industry. So in September of 2010 is when I started my agency called Travel Chicks.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that a lot from people that once you're sort of in this industry and it has its claws in you, you tend to, you might move around companies, but you tend to stay within the industry. And I think that's something to be proud of. The industry definitely attracts a lot of great talent, a lot of great people like yourself, and it tends to keep it, which is always a good sign, even when times are tough.
Yeah.
So again, let's talk about your experience with social media and with marketing a little bit before, again, we jump into the apps, which we are excited about. I see a few Flight Center alumni in the chat shouting out too. So yeah, you're not alone today. So how powerful are the social media platforms to your business? Is it a lead generator? Is it as a sales tool? Is it a marketing tool? Is it all the above? Is it whatever sort of you can make it is what it is?
Well, I definitely would not agree with your last statement. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You need to be on social media. Like, there's no question about it. It has to be part of your marketing strategy. There is so much opportunity online, and what the world really wants right now is to know that you're human. And all of us have been like stuck inside. And what I've loved is seeing some travel partners, some other agents and business development managers for different companies. I've been watching their social media feeds, and what I love is the creativity that is being sparked right now online. And what I mean by that is people were making fun of, taking a vacation on the couch. So they would take a picture of themselves on the couch in front of like their TV screen with the waves, and they got their little mojitos in their hand. It's like, I believe right now, it is a time for us to really get creative. And every single day, if you think about, I don't know, making fun of yourself being stuck at home and pretending it's like a cruise ship, or that you're sitting in an airplane and you have a friend come in as you're shooting a little video. Pretend that it's a flight attendant and you're on like a, you know, business class seat right now, but really you're in your living room. Like this is the engagement and the creativity that is necessary right now. And so social media has been huge for our business and for all the agents that I've trained all over the world. You need to implement social media, whether that's posting, whether that's videos, it's a lead generator. I mean, there's no question that you need to be including social media and start getting creative, because people just want to see that you're a real person and that you're having fun despite all the crap that's going on right now and the fear. Like people want to get to know you, and the best way, here's the thing. Back in the day, we used to pay thousands of dollars for ads up on billboards that cars would drive by, or we used to pay tons of money for, you know, bus seats. Well, you actually have the ability right now to be putting all those ads up, not even ads, just posts for free. And the reach that it gets in such a short amount of time it's mind-blowing. I was just sharing with you, Daniel, before we went live, how one group that I'm a part of, I put one post up and within 3.5 hours, it had 706 comments.
Yeah, that is wild, because I can't imagine on my personal page, I don't think I have that many friends, let alone the groups are powerful. I mean, we had a guest earlier in these sessions, Amy, who spoke about social media, and she mentioned one of her tips was 10 interactions, 10 minutes a day, and that's what she just tries to get those at each morning, just 10 minutes, just letting people know she's around, she's there, she's ready to interact. I think that's again, minimal effort but maximum return, and I think that's important for everyone to remember.
Yeah, and just before you ask the next question, I just want to leave the audience with this. I really want each of you who are listening right now to think about who is your ideal client. Is it primarily families? Is it primarily moms? Is it primarily solo travel industry? Because whoever your ideal client is, I want you to start going to find those groups where your ideal clients would be hanging out. Because there's so many groups on Facebook, and if you start answering, just like what you shared with the last guest, 10 interactions, 10 minutes a day, if you are placing yourself inside a Facebook group where all your ideal clients are, and you're starting to comment on people's posts, and you're starting to maybe share some stuff that you want to share, people will start seeing your name. And that will drive them back to your profile to see what you're doing. And so it's actually a brilliant marketing tactic that start hanging out in groups where your ideal client is. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I completely agree. The power of communities in those groups is really extraordinary, and it is a great tool, not only for interactions, but for business building too. So we're going to jump into the apps now. I know we're going to have a lot of tech questions in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. I have an iPhone, so whatever answers you're getting from me is going to have that sort of shield on it. It's going to be about the iPhone platform. But yeah, Melissa, if you want to take it away, I want to get to them all and give everyone a chance to ask questions about it and download them if they want. So I guess let's jump in. What's the first app you want to let everyone know about? How did you discover it, and how does it serve you and serve your business?
Okay, so the first app I want to share is something called Adobe Spark Post.
Sorry.
What I love about this app, and I had to ask permission to share a little video with you, because especially when it comes to social media, I really need you to see a visual of what it means, because it's one thing to just talk about it, but it's another thing to actually see a little walkthrough. So I have a little video for you in a minute, but Spark Post, I don't even know how I came across it. I was in some training myself and I started using it. And you guys, what I love about this app is that you can create literally 30 images in 10 minutes. That is 1 month of social media posts. Like it's brilliant, and it's rather simple to use. Once you get the hang of it and you start playing around with it yourself, it's not very difficult to use.
Yeah, it has. I just opened it on the App Store, and it has 140,000 reviews, and the average is 5 stars. So clearly, you're not the only one who's a big fan of it either.
Yeah. Is it okay if we do the little walkthrough?
Yeah, let's go ahead. We're gonna let Melissa share. I think you can share your screen, and yeah, here we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna make this big. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can, and I believe everybody else can too.
Okay, maybe type yes in the chat if you can see it. So here we are. We're looking at our phone in the App Store. This is what it looks like. Adobe Spark Post. You'll click the download button right here. And then once you are inside the app, so here we are on my phone, I click it, you come in. This is the main page of Spark Post. At the top here, it says templates. All of these yellow image little pin things here, those you have to pay for. Wherever there is an image that there is no yellow thing, you can use. So you can use, say, this template here. You could use this one for free. If you wanted to use this, you would have to pay. You will also notice up here at the top, it says featured, premium, animation, collage. And there is also a little magnifying glass up here. And as I walk through this a little bit, I'll show you how you can utilize this, especially for the travel industry. So at the bottom of the page, when you are going to create a new picture, you can choose a template like what we saw on the first page, or you can choose a solid color, a pattern. Photo library goes to your own photos held inside your phone. There's videos, there's files, there's camera. I never use Lightroom or Adobe Stock. What I do use is this button here that says search free photos. This button, search free photos, is available for you to use. That is all copyright free. So you don't have to worry about plagiarizing somebody's photos or getting in trouble. So with this example, we are going to choose a solid color. At the bottom, you can scroll through the colors that you want. And this right here is Adobe Spark Post. I'll just go back just a little bit so you can see. You'll notice that there's a logo or a watermark that says Adobe Spark. What you want to do before you save your image is click that little button, and then it will bring you to this page where it says remove Adobe Spark watermark. So you'll click the remove button so you don't have that watermark that shows up. So now we're left with the solid color of our post that we're creating. And at the bottom of the screen, you will see the different names here. So do you want to create an Instagram post? Do you want to create an Instagram story, Instagram portrait? I will tell you, the one that I always use the most is just Instagram, because it's already sized properly for the Instagram feed, so you don't have to worry about changing that. And I also can use the Instagram sizing for a Facebook post. So that's totally fine. And then you can change the text. So when you click done, there is automatically a text that appears, and you can type in your own quote. So maybe on Mondays, you want to decide to host on your social media quotes, travel quotes, right? So you would type in the travel quote here.
And this, you can do this all on your phone too. You don't even need to be on a laptop or a desktop.
Nope. And then you can play around with the size. So here's the words. You can pull this, like drag it towards the side so that it makes the text bigger. And I will also show you what else you can do. So at the bottom, you'll notice it says edit, font, color, shape, effect. Font, obviously you have like several different fonts that you can choose. What I would advise you on is if you are going to choose to use, say, travel quotes every Monday, use the same font so that it looks like branded. Like it doesn't look like you're changing the fonts all the time. Like it just looks neater when you use the same font across your social media platforms. So you can change the font, you can change the color, and you can change the shape of what the font is in. And I'll show you that in a second. So you can see the color swatches here. You can change it. Maybe you have specific brand colors. Travel Chicks, we use this pinkish color. So it would look good to brand it with your colors of what your business is. The shape, as you can see, you can select a different shape and you can see what it does with the actual kind of image behind the words.
Okay. Yeah, so we had a few questions about do they have these for the templates are available for Facebook too, and I think they are available for Facebook and for every major social media platform.
Totally.
Yeah.
See right at the bottom right now, you can actually create a really cool graphic even for your Facebook cover image. So all you need to do is at the bottom, just scroll through the different the different like social post that you want. So you can see it changes the sizing. So if I chose Facebook right there, now it's back to Instagram. So this is the Instagram sizing. Now, the other button that I just pushed was this add. This add button brings you to this screen. So you could choose to add text, add image, add video, add icon, add sticker, add logo. And honestly, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed right now. All I can say is just practice like playing around with these things. Cause I can tell you some nights I can't sleep at night. I'm laying in bed and I'm just like creating these cool images. And all of a sudden I wake up the next morning and I have like 10 images.
So do you pay for the premium version of this one, or do you use the free version?
I do.
Wow. And how do you go ahead, sorry.
And I don't know how it allows me to remove the watermark every single time, but it does. I click Adobe Spark and then it says remove watermark and it removes. So.
Wow. And this is, so I mean, would you use these images on your social media? Would you use them in your email marketing? You use them, or you just use them everywhere you can?
Yeah, lots of images for this I use inside the email blasts that we send out.
And you mentioned something that I think is important. You tend to use the same colors and the same fonts and the same sort of feel with all your marketing. Is that something you think is fairly powerful for your agency, especially the kind of agency that you run?
Yes, I definitely would, simply because it's aesthetically pleasing to the eye. But when someone sees like the same color pink show up, like pink and white, they know, I mean, if they've been following us, they know that that's like Travel Chicks, like that's their brand. And I think it really like sets you apart just when you're staying consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, so Patty wanted to know, yeah, so Melissa uses the free version. She does not use the pay version. And Donna wants to know if you can use it for different accounts. But when you use this, you just save the image and then deploy it like through wherever, like transfer it to whatever program or what app or what social network you're using, right? You don't do, or do you publish straight from Adobe?
No. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't, because you want to look like a pro.
Yeah.
You like, once you're done creating your images, and I'll show you in this little walkthrough video, you save the images right to your camera roll on your phone.
Okay.
So then you can upload it to the different, scheduling tools or onto your computer. But yeah, never, never, never. Don't ever publish now from Adobe, because then people will see and you want to look like,
Yeah.
that you're really good at graphics.
Yeah, I don't know how much you want people to know, your clients to know what app you're using.
Yeah. Okay, so what I just did here was I selected that add button and I said photo library. Now this is key, especially, let me see what I shared in here. So what I'm doing with this is adding my logo. And so I chose on my photo library, I chose the button photo library, and then I chose my logo. And you'll see here it says pin to background or move freely. Pin to background, you could do, but what it does is it creates a new cell. So it moves over, it moves the picture over, so now it'll look like you have two images. So whenever you're adding your own image, especially if it's your logo, just select the button that says move freely. And you'll see it comes up like that, and then you can make it, smaller and make it look nice and pretty. But that's how you would add your logo, instead of like paying for the premium version where you need to upload your watermark through that. So now I've selected add image, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna search free photos. So these are all photos available to you. They are stock photos, but there's a lot of really good photos in here. So I clicked search free photos, and what I typed in the search bar was travel, because I want the image to be travel. You guys, you can type in whatever you're looking for. Maybe you want a picture of a baby, so you would type in baby. Maybe you want a picture of an airplane. Maybe you want a picture of an ocean. You just type it in the word there, and then it'll sift through all the pictures. So I typed in travel here, and then I chose the airplane. Again, I select move freely. So now I have free reign of where I want to put this image. Make it bigger, move you're only going to get good at this by just practicing to use it.
Yeah, and I can also promise that if you have a difficult experience first, that'll be the most difficult experience you have, and things will get easier the more you use it.
Yeah. So now that I am finished with this image, you guys see this little arrow at the top? What I did was I click this button. This is when you're finished, you like what you created, and then it brings you to right here. See, it says create shareable template. Never worry about all these things. The only thing you ever need to worry about is this button here, save image. Don't confuse yourself with anything else, just save image. And what that does is saves to camera roll. So it's just like a picture you took. That's it. And
oh, sorry, go ahead, Melissa.
No, I was just going to show, do you have a question?
Well, we have a lot of people in the chat. I'm not sure if you're familiar with other apps that do the same thing, but a lot of people are asking about Canva too.
And normally in my trainings, I do teach Spark Post and Canva. I totally love Canva as well. I personally feel, I guess, more privy to Spark Post just because the images they have and the templates. Okay. But I would say they're equal, Canva and Spark Post. So if you're using Canva right now, that's amazing. That's another app that I use very frequently all the time.
Okay, yeah, that seemed to be, a lot of people were asking about Canva, but it does seem to do, I think I've used Canva a little bit myself, and it does seem to have the same sort of functions and accessibility too.
Yeah, totally. So this here, when you come to the main screen, if you wanted to just look for travel templates, because on the main screen when you sign in, it says templates. If you're looking for just, say, a travel template, you would just type in the word. And again, don't use the yellow pinned images because those aren't free. And then you just have to change, change the words around, change the Adobe Spark, remove the watermark. And I will show you, just in case you didn't see, it's a little bit hard to see. Don't ever type any of this. Don't click this learn more button, because that'll take you to the paid stuff. I don't know how it tricks the system, but at the bottom you will see it says remove the watermark. So make sure that you remove the watermark at the very bottom. Don't click that learn more, because then you'll have to pay for the upgrade. And then again, just go in, type out whatever you want to type, and click done. Another thing I will mention is that you want to create posts that create engagement. And what I mean by that, the words I just typed here, it's a viral post, which means you're asking a question. So what's your favorite destination? Because at the end of the day, all social media, your number one goal is to not only educate the people, but to get engagement. Because the more engaged people that you have, the higher the chance that you can start a relationship and then close them, lead them down kind of the path to eventually book a trip with you.
Yeah. So we're getting a lot of people who sort of came in halfway through and are wondering what's going on. I'm going to drop our YouTube page again in the chat. We will have the full video so you can watch and rewatch and stop and slow down. We'll have it up by tomorrow morning, we promise. So if you're in late, we're just wrapping up with the first half, and we have 2 more to go.
So at the bottom, when you have your images as well, you'll notice the word that says looks. You can create different looks. So you could have none. You could have, the photo darken. And this is another tip. If you want to use your own travel photos, maybe you want to create the same look. So maybe you want to select the one that says darken. So then when somebody's looking at your Instagram feed or your Facebook, it's all the same filter on those images, and it looks pretty cool, because it's not like one image is super bright and then one is dimmed down and then one is super bright. Like if you have the consistency of the filter of your actual photographs, that's another tip that I would offer.
Yeah, and again, I mean, there's an image bank available. You can use your own images. So if you have a lot of great travel photography you have yourself, you can use that in your own marketing, and keeping it consistent is always a sort of a key to it, I think.
Yep. And again, save image, save to camera roll, and that's pretty much it. All you need to do is just practice using it. And here, I just wanted to show you how to create another image super quick using the same font, the same text, just changing the image. Like, this is how quick you can create social media images. Are you dreaming of a beach right about now? Question mark. So that is me enticing people because I want to hear from them. All I've done here was replace the image, but it's the same text. And I am also using the filter of none, so I'm not making the picture brighter. Save to camera roll. There, we just made 2 images in 35 seconds.
And a few questions are coming in. Is Adobe Spark, is it exclusively for your cell phone, or do they have a desktop or a desktop program, or maybe a web version or something?
They do have a desktop version, and you can totally use it, but I find it not as user friendly as using it with just your own fingers. Like, you can still do all the functions, but I actually, when I'm on the desktop version, I find it more difficult to navigate, like to navigate the text, to navigate making it different colors. I didn't find it, personally, I wouldn't recommend the desktop.
Okay. So we have about 20 minutes left. I do want to get to the next 2. But I do think this is powerful. This is especially powerful for people who want to create constantly updating marketing, especially on the social media or on their email marketing too. I think that's great for a lot of people who maybe are have changed in careers and maybe heading out on their own right now, or people who want to sort of keep updating and keep engaging clients. I think this is a particularly powerful tool.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's go ahead. I know we have a couple more videos. Let's go ahead. I think tackle the second one too. So if you want to give us an introduction about what's it called, and what purpose it serves for you, I think people seem to be engaged with that right now.
Okay, so the second app, like I shared before, usually I share Canva, but for this presentation and moving forward, I want to share an app called Mematic, and that's MEMEATIC. And I'm going to share my screen again. Just make sure. Can you see the screen?
Yep, we can see it. Yep, we're good.
Okay. So here you guys go. This is what it's called. It's called Mematic. Now, one thing I do want to note is you get a free 3-day trial when you sign up. Don't sign up right now until you're ready to sit down and make a bunch of memes. The reason I love this app is because memes go viral so quick. You have seen memes on like everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, and they are hot. There's not a lot of people using them right now, but the people who are, including ourselves, we're starting to implement way more memes in our social media scheduling in the next like couple months. But you could get ahead of the curve right now and start making your own memes, and people love sharing it, especially if they're funny and engaging. So this is Mematic. And again, it's just practicing. It's practicing with using it. I'm just going to, let me just see one quick second.
Yeah, so if anyone has any questions, again, I'm going to grab them as many as I can in the chat as we run through the next couple of apps. I know a lot of people are asking more questions about Adobe Spark. If you didn't see the first half of our presentation, please go ahead and rewatch it when we post it later tonight or tomorrow morning. It'll definitely be on, and we'll have it in our newsletter tomorrow too. But we're moving on to the second one now, which is Mematic. And Richard, I don't know if you want to tackle this question, Melissa, but Richard wants to know what exactly a meme is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we go, can you see my screen right now?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, and you know what? I was looking at the video, and for some reason, it's not showing the actual walkthrough of a meme. But do you see here, you guys, it says, oh, look, my AG teacher's last nerve. I want to touch it. This is a meme. This is a meme. Get those reports to me, rate meow. Cop pulled me over and said papers. I yelled scissors and drove off. Like these are what you would call a meme.
And you would see these on Facebook and on Instagram, and these seem the best if you want people to share your stuff, it seems like.
Yes, and that's exactly why I recommend using memes in your social media, because it's fairly new. It's been around for a little while, but if you like maybe the month of September, you choose to focus on all things Africa. And if you start having these really cool like African images with little memes, some could be funny, some could be just did you know, like a little text that says did you know. When you start using these on a consistent basis, and maybe they're really cool African pictures, for example, people want to share it. Like when you look at travel Instagram profiles, it's unbelievable how much stuff is shared, especially when it's like a really cool, I don't know, rainforest.
Yeah, we have one question that came in about Mematic. Marianne wants to know what's sort of the difference between this and between Adobe Spark, which we just touched upon.
So the difference with only Mematic is that it's only a template as a meme. So you can type text in the top banner area and the bottom banner area, and inside you have the option to create image or a video for the meme. Whereas Spark Post is, I mean, you can create so much stuff on Spark Post, but it could also be a little overwhelming as well because there's so many templates. And so with Mematic, it's only memes. So it's only the square dimensions with, you know, typing in the top or typing on the side of the actual image itself. And memes, like I said before, memes get shared way more and have the opportunity to go viral way quicker than just a social media, just an Instagram post.
Okay, and my last question on this one is, do you know how much it costs once you're done with the free trial?
Yes, it's $39.99 for 1 year.
Okay.
So it's really not, it's not breaking the bank.
Okay. I think so we have about 10 to 15 minutes left. Let's move ahead to the third one, and then we'll try to get it again. We'll try to engage as many questions as we can as we go along. But again, those two apps, I mean, they're good for creating content that's going to be shared, which is Mematic, or it's going to be able to sort of brand your agency and keep your branding consistent within your audience, within your social media or email marketing, which was the first one, which was Adobe Spark. And if anyone missed either of those sort of little discussions, again, we're going to host the full video of today's session, and you'll be able to rewatch it and pause it and open your phone and do whatever you need to do as you watch it.
Okay, I do want to address a question. Leslie Baker, you asked, when I set up the Adobe app and link to Facebook, it links to my personal page, not business. How do I get it to post on my business page? I never want you to post directly from Adobe. Never. And it's okay. I think it's linked to my personal account right now too, but it has no relevance into the actual images that you're creating. Because once you go into the app, you make your image, you click that save button, you're only just ever saving image to your camera roll. Never post to Facebook, never post to Instagram, because everybody will see this post was made with Adobe Spark. You don't want that.
Yeah. And Eileen just said she just did her first post with Adobe to Instagram. So hopefully people are taking the lesson. People seem to be taking the lessons right away. And,
yes, I love it.
Yeah, it's great to hear. Yeah. So again,
Okay.
any other questions? Throw them in the chat, and we'll do our best to get to them. I know we only have about 10 minutes left, so we'll do our best. We promise.
Okay. So obviously, honestly, you guys, we could go into a training for like 5 hours, and we don't have the time today. So it's great. We've made these images. We've learned how to save them to our camera. Now, the key is actually getting it into a scheduler so that you could sit down every single Sunday and take an hour to create graphics, and then take another hour to schedule all your social media. And then it's out of the way. This is the biggest problem I see with agents right now, is that they're just not setting time aside. They're not setting time aside to create the images and schedule them. So what do you use when it comes to scheduling? You use this app called Later. Super easy, and on your phone, so you can use it from your phone or you can use it from your desktop. I personally, with Later, prefer using it with my desktop because it's bigger and it's just easier for me to see. So this is what it's called, later.com. You can do an upgraded version of this, but it's not necessary, because with the free account for later, you are permitted 30 posts a month on Instagram and 30 posts a month on Facebook. So you could technically have 60 posts a month as well as on Twitter. And it only allows 3 social media accounts. So like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and 30 posts on each platform. When you download the app, you will notice you will have to set up your account. So you just have to follow the instructions to link your Instagram, link your Facebook business page, which is your travel agency, and then if you have Twitter. So first, you have to create your account. Then you have to follow the steps to create the actual profiles for the social media accounts. Now everything is set up. When you sign into the app, you will see this up here. It shows Instagram, Facebook, and then Twitter. So whatever is highlighted, so for example, this one's highlighted, that is where you're going to be creating or scheduling the post for. So in here, you would have, just like at the top, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So right now we selected Instagram. And then at the bottom, it says upload media. So right here, these are all pictures that I have saved from my phone. So if you've saved all your images from Adobe Spark, they will all show up right here. And then you would just select whatever image you want to create. So I chose this image, for example. It brings up the image right here. Right here, it says type caption here. So this is where you type the caption. So this example, I just typed,
just quickly, Melissa, we have a couple questions. We saw you had Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Does Later work with LinkedIn as well? Do you know?
It does, yep. So if the people don't have Twitter, you could sign up the Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Okay. But for the free account, it's only 3. It's only 3 social media things you can do.
And what about for Facebook? Is it able to post specifically to a group, or does it just post to your page?
You can, I'm just trying to remember. You can, I'm pretty sure. No, you know what? You can't. Without the pro version, you can't post to a group. So it has to be a page that you manage.
And just, we also, again, like we had with Adobe, we have people with, I guess, similar apps wondering why you prefer Later. I know Hootsuite's a big social media scheduling app, and I know a lot of people are familiar with that. But is there a reason you prefer Later, or is it simply what you're more comfortable with, or does it have different functions or different performability that makes you prefer it?
So I have used Buffer and I have used Hootsuite in the past. And what I didn't like about those ones was just the functions. I know for today's training, we're not going to get into the, big functions of Later and what you can do with the different things in there. But the Hootsuite and Buffer, what I didn't like was that when I would post stuff on Facebook, it would say posted by Hootsuite. Oh, okay. And I don't want that. I don't want them to know that it was scheduled. I want it to look like we just posted this right now.
Yeah, that is something, yeah, you want people to think that, we want people to feel as though you're with them having a conversation, I guess, as opposed to just pushing out messages and pushing out marketing. Mm-hmm. Somebody asked if you have a particular time you like to post on Facebook or social media. Do you feel like posting at a certain time gets you more engagement on your content?
Honestly, that is, that's a question that is really specific to who your ideal client is, truthfully.
Okay.
I personally, I post probably 5 or 6, sometimes even up to 10 posts a day. Oh, wow. Especially on Facebook. Our biggest market is on Facebook. And sometimes we have like 10 posts a day on Facebook, and they're sporadic. Like we have early morning and we have late at night. And then we usually have one just after, I'd say, lunchtime after lunchtime and after supper. But with Travel Chicks, our main niche is solo female travelers. And so we know that most of the time they're sitting online at night or like, you know, on their lunch break. So if your ideal market is families, for example, well, families in the morning are probably not on social media because they're getting their kids ready for school. So you have to think about who is my ideal client and what time would be the ideal time that they would like open their phone and look on social media. So this here, what I just finished doing here was entering the caption for the actual photo. Another little tip that also helps drive traffic is at the bottom, it says here, tag location and tag users. So when you tag a location, especially if it's like a local business, you have the opportunity to be seen by even more people that follow that business. So sometimes tagging location is also a great thing to use. And the other thing that I want to share is when it comes to hashtags.
Yeah.
Hashtags are very important because this is what people search for. So at the bottom of the caption, what you write below your photo, you will see what I'm gonna do next is I don't put the hashtags right after the words or the sentences. I do a few spaces, and you can play around with this because we've had times where it's worked really well and then it's not worked really well. And you can tell by how many people like your post. So what I do is I add periods, I push enter, I do about 4 lines of periods, and then I go to my notepad, and I encourage every single one of you, go onto Google and type top travel hashtags. Maybe you focus on cruises, type in top cruise hashtags, and begin creating a notepad of just hashtags. You cannot have more than 30 hashtags in a post. It used to be really well using 30, but what we're seeing right now is using about 7 hashtags in your post is like the key number. Because if you only put 3, it gets no engagement. If you put 10 or 20, it gets no engagement. So I have a notepad full of different hashtags, and I title them different. This wasn't. So here I have these travel hashtags. So I select a few of those, I copy them, and then I just post them right into the caption. And I have all different hashtags. This one is Inspire, you know, this one was Tianguis in Mexico. So I would just encourage you, do a little bit of research to see top hashtags and save it on your phone so it's easy to access at a later time, especially when it comes to scheduling your post. And then you just go back into later and it deleted. I had to type this out again because it didn't save for some reason.
And the hashtags are particularly powerful for Instagram. Is that right? Or is it for every social media?
I would say more Instagram. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then,
So,
yeah, that's
Oh.
it. At the bottom, all you need to do is click post now or schedule later. And then you set it up and that's it. The other thing I'm just going to throw in, because as if this wasn't enough, and I know our time is almost up, but do you guys see this right here? It says link tree. After we're done this call today, I want you to go to Linktree to set this up for yourself, because I see a lot of people who just have their travel website here, but you're missing another opportunity to like promote yourself for free. And so what Linktree does is it has buttons. You click these buttons and you will put in your website. This, for example, says shop now. So it brings us to our, shop now page, what they can book online. This connect on Facebook has a link that if somebody clicks it, then they are brought to Facebook for our our Facebook travel page, which you guys, you definitely should have that, because if people go to your Facebook page, then they can like it. You could even say here, like us on Facebook. And then of course our website. So definitely add Linktree to your Instagram because it's free. There is a paid version, but you don't need to get the paid version.
I see a lot of people with their phones out looking at them, which is a good sign, I think. And I see a lot of people jumping in the chat asking about the other apps. Again, we're going to host the video. I know I've said that, but we're going to host the whole video. You'll be able to rewatch it as many times as you want. I also want to suggest a lot of social media specific questions have come in from the chat. And I know today wasn't exclusively about social media, but we have a social media session with Amy Leon weeks back. If you guys want to check that out, you can. And yeah, anything to add, Melissa? I know it was sort of fast and furious today, but
no.
Yeah, go. If there's anything else you want to add, we do have a couple minutes left.
Okay, so I got a couple things. If you're feeling lost and you're like, I don't even know what to post, or I don't have an outline. I don't know if it's okay, Daniel, to share. I have a link that people can go and get for the rest of 2020 social media content calendar. Like it's already, like it says on Monday, post a blog post. On Tuesday, post something inspiring.
Where can people find that?
Let me see. I want to make sure.
All right. While you're, I guess, searching, I just want to remind everyone, in case we get cut off. So 2 weeks, we're going to be back with service fees with Jamie Jones and Tiffany Hines. We're going to get the link out to you to register. And also, please keep a lookout for the Travel Maestro, Travel Market Reports Maestro series announcement coming to you guys exclusively tomorrow, and to all of our readers on Tuesday. But I know, Melissa, I can still see you searching for the link. We're going to get that in the chat.
Yeah, I put it in the chat. It's bit.ly/TMR calendar. It should work.
Okay. I don't see it in the chat. You might have sent it to just waiting room. I've done that before.
Let's see.
Or I don't know. It might be in there, but I don't. People are just sort of asking about it. I do think we're gonna get cut off pretty soon. But if you want to shoot that over to us, if we do get cut off, Melissa, we'll try to shoot it out in the wrap up email that's going out in a few minutes.
Okay, I think.
Oh, you got it in there now. So the link is in there now. And again, for anyone who's missed the video, who came in halfway through the session, we're going to host the video. We'll get it out to everyone tomorrow. But before we go, I do want to take this time to thank you, Melissa, for joining us. This was sort of our most interactive session, and I know people got a lot out of it, and I do want to thank you. And hopefully, I can see you in person sometime when travel. Melissa was one of our guests at Travel Market Report West before sort of the last conference before everything sort of got shut down. So hopefully we can reconvene at some point in the future, and hopefully we'll be able to speak to you again, Melissa. And I want to thank you so much for your time today.
Yes, thank you. And I was just going to say, I know lots of people have jumped off, but yeah, type in the comments if this was valuable for you, because feedback is always good.
Feedback is always good. Thank you guys all so much for joining us today. And again, we'll be back in 2 weeks, and I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend and a good rest of the day. Thank you.